Go.
Hello, and welcome back to Unqualified Film Bros. Without George, he's too afraid of these movies, I guess. I don't know. We are talking about my most anticipated movie of the year, I believe, which is 28 years later, The Bone Temple, filmed back to back with 28 years later. This is uh, similar to the last one in some ways, but definitely has a lot more. I don't want. I mean, it is comedic. It's grotesque comedy, but it has a lighter tone somehow than the last one, which was very, very heavy. I really enjoyed it. What did you think?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't know if it's necessarily fair to compare the two. The Bone
Different
Temple and
directors too,
yeah,
so.
very very different, but you get some of the similar styles from DaCosta with sort of the frantic nature of
And
and
I think this
voyeuristic
the
nature
same
of the filming.
cinematographer. Um,
Okay, well then that makes sense, but
I
yeah,
believe. Don't I'll have to check that.
sure.
Obviously, same screenwriter, Alex
Yep,
Garland.
yep.
But yeah, I mean, it keeps a lot of the style from the last entries,
Hmm.
but it definitely has its own, charm to it.
It
Having
does.
scenes like Ian, Kelson, whatever you want to call him, dancing with Samson
Old
and
Nick.
old Nick. Yeah, I honestly didn't really piece together. I forgot that old Nick was a name for Satan, and I just kept thinking in my head Santa Claus.
Well, we did have one battle after another where they were actually talking about Saint Nick.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that's fair. It's a fair assumption.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I love that it took, the story and changed it a little bit. You
Mhm.
know, it has a different feel to it. He's sort of, I mean, he's not really grown up, but
No, I
he's
mean, it's right after
he's
the,
past his like
yeah.
trauma with all of his past, and now he has to deal with this like horrific, current event.
Hmm.
Um, but I love the dynamics between people, the woman who's being chased,
Hmm.
where, she's just frightened for her life. He's begging for help, doing the same, but it's like they turn against each other.
Yeah.
Um, and then you got Kelson who's like trying to see the humanity in every single person, even the infected, and
Hmm.
manages to do so with Samson. And that was a wonderful story. Like you see Jimmy, who just sort of tortures people and does the worst things.
Yeah.
And then you see Kelson, who takes the worst of the people, I guess, the infected, and tries to communicate with them and tries to help them. Um, and that also like comes into like I love the ending where you
Hmm.
have uh, Killing Murphy back,
He's
and
back.
he sees them in trouble and he's like, do we help them? Of course.
Yeah.
Um, Contrasted with Jimmy showing up at the end of 28 years later, where it's like he's
Yes.
there to help, but really it's just like a new prison.
For a price. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I want that's interesting you bring up the appearance of Jimmy at the end of 28 years later, and I'm curious what you think um if any different direction his character story his arc would have gone. Like would he have been maybe more sadistic, like could he have been more sadistic in a Danny Boyle movie with because it felt more, the way he was set up in 28 years later was really like this, ominous kind of like specter looming over like the entire countryside pretty much. And you do get that, right? It's not like you don't see how awful and crazy he is in the Bone Temple, but um, you know, I wonder if it would have been different.
I don't know. I mean, I think they went with a similar like
Mhm.
it ties a lot into the intro to 28 years later
Yeah.
with Jimmy as a kid. watching
Hmm.
Teletubbies. I mean, they even do the Teletubby dance and stuff. It's
Yeah.
clear that he has like so much trauma that he can't even see the people that he's harming as people anymore.
Yeah.
Which I thought it was really interesting when he talked about Kelson and he's this sadistic person and then he talks about like my mother and sister would have made it if they just did this
Hmm.
or I forget what he was talking about or where he was but I mean it's such an interesting like difference. It's like behind this tragedy of the infection there's like a human but after that he became something else.
Hmm.
um and you have people like that, and you also have people that are filled with hope. And you've got Cillian Murphy's character raising a daughter,
Hmm.
um, who he's teaching. I think, you know, a great inclusion. He's teaching about, the rebuilding of Japan after they dropped the bomb. Um, and he says, why would you help these people? Because, this might make it better than the opposite, which is not helping them.
Right.
Um, and you have, obviously lots of historical implications there, but I think the idea is to, parallel it with like Samson and, Kelson
Hmm.
helping him and then them at the end helping these random strangers being chased by the infected.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a heavy movie. Like, this is not a
It
horror
is.
movie. This is
N-
a
n-
great, well-crafted movie.
No, I
It is a
mean,
horror movie in a way, but like,
28 years later was like, oh God, depressing and sad in a lot of moments. But I mean, obviously beautiful in those same moments. But here it is more amusing. The when he's dancing with Samson and you've got Kelly watching through the binoculars. She's like, what is going like what
and
the fuck?
I appreciate his choice in music.
I do too. He had great taste.
Um,
He really is like the keeper of the records of humanity.
yeah, and the performance at the end where it comes out to Iron Maiden, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's great.
Really gets to showcase his acting skills on the stage. It
Yep.
felt very much like a stage performance. It's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, there's just so many dynamics. Obviously, he cures Samson at the end. I thought that was a hilarious scene, and
Hmm.
really interesting, right? Because I had never really thought of an infected, and yet we have like a point of view of him. Even
Hmm.
throughout the movie, it's like even before he's cured, where you start to see him like in his rage state, and then his slowly
Yep.
like returning to humanity.
Yeah.
And there is a comedic scene where he just goes like, I don't have a ticket. It's like, what? Whoa, my God, he just spoke. And then he just like destroys everyone. Um,
Because the one wish that Kelson had was one word, like one wondrous word or something, and he gets that with Moon, and then you think, oh, maybe that's it, but then no, you get more.
yeah. And then I mean, I feel like there is more moments of like joy, whereas
Yeah.
like the other movies are a lot more about survival, where this
Yeah.
is about survival, but in a way it's about surviving your own humanity. There's not really these aside from the beginning, there's not really great threats of, the infected killing anybody. It's
Hmm.
all people,
Yep.
which I think is a fascinating, you know, thing to do for a movie called The Bone Temple, where the whole point is, the memento mori, remember
Hmm.
that you must die, remember that you are human.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, I mean, you get a little bit of a catharsis when you see Jimmy, even though he had a traumatic childhood, real piece of shit, and he's just like lying there,
Yep.
crucified, screaming for help, just like all the people that, he tortured.
Yeah. I mean, countless people.
But yeah, I feel like I've been talking a lot. I don't mean to.
No, it's okay. I mean, if you get to pick what we talk about, so you know.
It's just I really love these movies. I think they have a lot to say.
Yeah.
I
I
wish
mean,
the
this felt like a
Oscars.
really natural continuation, and it
Mhm.
feels like it's a good step in. It'd be interesting to see where they go with the third one. Just because, it does feel like there could be a conclusion to this story where, there's this emergence from um the infected and everything, but who knows where they want to go with that, right? There could be a new strain, something interesting could happen where they have to redevelop it further, but I don't know. Do you have any ideas of where they might go?
Yeah, I mean, I think there is a conclusion like in store.
Yeah.
At least, containing a lot of these characters, considering we
Yeah.
followed them.
Yeah.
We don't, I don't really know what happened to the guys from 28 Weeks Later, but
I
we'll
s-
figure that out.
if I'm being honest, I did skip that one on your recommendation, so I have
It's
seen all of the
okay. I
other
mean, it's
ones
not
though.
terrible. It's just the other films are so good that it
Yeah.
pales in comparison.
Yeah.
Um, and obviously it took a while for Cillian Murphy to come back. This has been like 20 something years, not quite 28.
By the time it comes out, maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely a third one on the horizon, considering
Hmm.
we get that last scene. Um, and it's not even like a post-credit scene. It's like it's part of the movie, just like the
Hmm.
last one was. So
Yeah.
it's not filmed back to back, but I'm sure they have something in store.
Yeah, because I think isn't Alex Garland writing it again, and is Danny Boyle coming back to direct it, or is it Alex Garland? I don't actually know.
I think Danny Boyle might. I don't know. I don't know why he didn't do this one. Um,
I like Nia DaCosta. I think
yeah, no,
she's a
she was
director.
great.
Yeah.
I just don't, he's done all the others, so I don't know why
Yeah.
he chose not to do this one, if it was like a conflict with the contract, but
Yeah. I feel like I remember reading something, but I don't remember exactly why. But I feel like I've seen him give a reason as to why. But I've I've seen her other sort of venture into horror. She may have more, but the sort of sequel to Candyman,
yeah, yeah, we did that one.
um, I don't think we did.
We did?
Oh, don't remember doing that. Maybe I missed that episode.
Or
Uh,
maybe we just talked about it. I don't know. We've
yeah,
done
I
too
definitely
many.
have texted you about it, but
Yeah,
I had seen her sort of horror and chops in that, and I came away
we did the
actually really
Marvels.
liking
That's
it.
what we did.
She did the Marvels. Yeah,
That's fine.
that was fine actually.
Yeah.
I think I liked it better than Captain Marvel, but anyways, yeah, she did the sequel to Candyman, and I actually really liked it. So
Yeah, I did
it was
too. I thought it was
interesting
really
coming into
interesting.
this.
And so, I mean, as long as you get a great director, it'll be fine.
Hmm.
Alex Garland is kind of like the heart of the story, it feels like. At least at this point.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I'm sure he has an idea, given the way that he wrote this.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure there's a way that he wants to conclude this story. I mean, you could always do more of this, but
Hmm.
at a certain point, I think there should be a conclusion, and there is a reasonable one. It's not like everything's solved. We see the
Yeah,
human problem of like the trauma just warping these people beyond belief,
yeah,
beyond anything that, the rage infection could have
yeah.
done.
And like reintegration back, back into non-quarantine society and everything.
Yeah.
Like imagine the island coming back to like normal civilization after
Yeah,
even
I mean,
isolating themselves further from.
it's clear. I don't know what the society, if Killian Murphy lives in society or this test is literally like he's just teaching his daughter.
Hmm.
Um,
Oh, I meant the one that was in 28 Years Later, with like Aaron Taylor Johnson,
no, no,
but like both. Yeah.
yeah, I know, but it didn't seem like they were doing a lot of educating there. It seemed a
No.
lot more like, survival, like hunting,
Yeah. Yeah.
very tribesman like. Whereas Killian Murphy is still trying to retain,
Hmm.
those pieces of like current history and things like that.
Like Kelson.
Yeah, and I mean Kelson obviously too,
Yeah.
but that's like that humanity that's sort of remaining in them versus like
Hmm.
those that have lost it and
Like
given up
Jimmy.
all, yeah, given up all hope on being human.
Yeah.
And so they choose to be Satan, the son of Satan.
Old Nick. I think it'll be interesting to follow Spike and sort of where he goes from there too, because he had, obviously the big choices in 28 years later of what to do with Isla or the little baby. And then immediately gets picked up by Jimmy, so he hasn't really had a chance to go out and figure out who he wants to be yet.
Yeah. And I mean, I think it's sort of clear who he is.
Yeah,
He sort of shows that even at a young age, you don't need to relent to this, depravity.
yeah. Especially having only been 12 or yeah, 12. And so it's all he's known. And it's been like deeply ingrained in the society and the people around him already. So it's not like it's new to them.
Yeah, and I mean, I mean, Jimmy is a very interesting one because I went back and watched 28 Years Later,
Yeah, I did
and
too.
that intro is like really interesting in the context of everything that he says, where it's like you can see from a child's point of view, everything that he says he thinks is true. Like
Hmm.
he actually does believe it. And even at the end, he's crying for his father. Um, and his father's a psycho. Like this guy is not a child. This guy is absolutely insane. And he gets turned and starts running. He's like, yeah, yeah, and they all start following him. And to little Jimmy, it looks like his father is leading the horde of demons,
Hmm.
you know. And he gives him this cross, and then we see, Jimmy inverts it and is wearing it upside down like a Satanist.
Yeah, I mean, and then when the doors open to the church, the shadow of the cross is inverted up over his father.
Yeah, no, it's a really interesting because he is a victim, but also he grew up to learn better, and he just chose not to.
Yeah.
Um, because you can see that he still like has that love for humanity when he talks about his sister and his mother. It's just
Yep.
like he's closed it off from himself. And the others have too. Like you see all the other Jimmys that he's created, and they're like twisted beyond belief out of like the torture that he's put them through.
Yeah. By having them torture other people.
Yeah,
Like like the scene in the homestead when they do the charities and they all puke, I think, or are all physically like and emotionally drained after having just absolutely mutilated these people and kept them alive.
yeah.
Crazy.
It's far worse than anything the infected did.
It is.
That's the part.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, that's been a very present and in your face constant in all of these films is the infected are not the worst thing that can get you in
Yeah,
this world.
certainly. I
Yeah.
mean, you start out light with like the people that leave that guy that tries to kill the zombie. They just sort of leave him to die. And
Hmm.
it's like that's the light version, and then you have the most depraved version here, which is just like this selfishness, but past that, like this. I mean, I guess at a certain point, it's not even like a need for cruelty. It's like he's determined to be this, Satan's child, and so he must do this to prove
Yeah.
his father right. It's such a warped, like, point of view.
Hmm.
And then you find out that the infected also, their whole vision is warped. And they're seeing demons and everyone that they attack. I think that's great.
And
There's
the
just a
fact that
lot
we
of
get to see it too, I think that's something that you brought up earlier, and I was trying to think you may know, but I mean I can't think that it's that kind of thing is done all that often, where it's sort of this unadulterated view from the bad guy, or the infected, where it's as effective as I think it was done here.
No, I mean, and I think that's kind of the point is like
Yeah.
for a lot of our time, for their time in their whatever world, it's like nobody ever thought that the infected actually still could think, you know. They just seemed like mindless zombies.
Hmm.
But then you contrast it with some of the, depraved people like Jimmy, and they look like monsters too, you know.
Hmm.
They might be able to form words and things like that, but they're
That's
far
right.
worse.
They are.
It's like a conscious decision.
Mhm.
Um,
I also love that Kelson figured out Samson's humanity through like a scientific process, and that's what he was in the sort of old world, where he kind of noticed that Samson wasn't attacking him immediately, and then progressed to, oh, I think you're just here for the for the good drugs. And then it continues to where they actually become friends. And so, I mean, I love that that was built into their relationship, that it had a scientific element to it.
yeah, and again, it like contrasts with the beginning of this whole thing, which is a
Hmm.
bunch of scientists trying to, create the rage virus,
Yep.
to, make people insane for chemical warfare and things like that.
Hmm.
Those were doctors too. Those were
Yep.
scientists. And then this is a doctor that's trying to help people, even the most violent of people that they created. I just think it's a beautiful like showing of what humanity is. That there are awful people in the world, but there are also great people that can see, the greatest in the worst.
Hmm. Yeah, they're these both of these films are, I don't know. I find some of what they're trying to say inspire. It's inspiring to just see the humanity in the worst of in the worst of circumstances, um, and it being done through a zombie film. Because a lot of times that's not how infected are portrayed. It's sort of these mindless freaks and again, like you said, that's the point of view we get, right? We don't know if that's always the case, but that's what we're presented with a lot of times. So this is just a really interesting take on it.
Yeah. And, just seeing like we see his memories too, and, sort of
Hmm.
we get a lot of storytelling through just the visuals, which I always love. It's a
Yeah.
movie. Use the visuals. And
Yep.
so, we gather that this guy got into, I assume, a plane or a train crash,
Hmm.
given the train that sort of crashed there. So he's sort of like going back, discovering where, he sort of came from, and then at some point got infected after that.
Hmm.
Um, that's just fantastic storytelling to show that rather than like have some lazy exposition, somebody telling you, or even him like rediscovering his ability to talk, and then you're talking about all this stuff.
Hmm.
We treat him as like an actual character rather than like a prop. Um,
Because it'd be easy to do that. Just, he's the alpha. Like that's what he's presented as by Aaron Taylor Johnson in 28 Years Later, Jamie.
yeah, and he
And
he
that's
seems like the
what,
most violent and
yeah, that's all he
aggressive out of
sees.
all.
Yeah, and he is. I mean, that's not untrue, but there's just more to it. Just like there's more to Dr. Kelson that Jamie and the wouldn't allow Spike to know that he's a doctor that could have, maybe saved his mom or something.
And they were genuinely like afraid of him. Like they
Yeah,
were
they
so
were.
afraid of just like looking at all the skulls and things like that, and yet he was the one that actually retained his humanity
Yeah. I mean, not an
because
unfair assumption when you see
yeah,
like 500 bodies laying out,
you know, it's
but
fair that the guy that's randomly hauling bodies while everyone's like, crowded in their village over there. Um, yeah,
and is like painted with iodine, but you don't know what it is, so you think it's probably blood.
yeah,
That's an okay assumption, I think, but perspectives sometimes change.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would fully recommend going to see this movie, and I'm excited for the next one. I'm sure it'll be the two of us again.
One of these days, I'm gonna force him to watch these. Oh, Danny Boyle didn't like to. He didn't consider it a zombie movie
hmm
because that's not really the point.
No, it's not.
It's all about the people, which has been done before. It's been done like The Walking Dead and stuff.
hmm
It is the far more interesting idea. It's an apocalyptic scenario. Yes, it's zombies, but the point is, contrast these quote unquote mindless creatures in some
hmm
to, the people that sort of lose their minds even when they are not infected.
Yeah. And that reminds me of the line Kelson said that he presumed that um their minds were clouded, not gone or something like that. I forget
Yeah,
the exact word.
that the virus is over your mind, not in your
Not
mind.
not replaced it, I think.
Yeah, not replaced it.
Yeah, yeah,
That
something
there
like
is still a person on there.
yeah.
Um, it's
And that
just
he
sort
had
of
the hope
clouded.
that it was there because he hadn't reached that conclusion yet. He didn't know for sure, but it was, part of that
And
was
he
the
had
hope.
doubt, until
Yeah.
the man said moon, he was about to kill him,
Yeah.
about to give him his eternal peace.
Yeah. And then he can take a nap next to him and wake up with Samson, and Samson's just gone. He's not dead. And he said, still in one piece.
It's great.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, I can't say enough good things about this film, but bottom line is it's an experience that you need to watch and
hmm
feel in the theater.
Yes, absolutely.
But yeah, I think that's bold recommendations from both of us.
For sure.
What do we I don't know what we're doing next week. I should check that.
I don't know. I don't know either. I can check. I don't know if I have the updated thing, but we'll be back next week, I think. That's the plan.
We'll be back. Let's see.
We'll figure it out. But we'll be back.
Got it. I got it.
Um,
Oh, it's a good one. Mercy,
oh God.
the first AI generated movie. Pro AI generated movie.
Oh God. All right.
Yeah, well, that's it for us. We'll see you next week. Good night.
Good night.